Hello YouTube, my name is Octopus Joey. You know, when you think of games that people hate, most people think of games like Superman 64, Sonic 06, Bubsy 3D, games that are absolutely terrible and should not be played by anyone. Some of you might think of games like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts and Paper Mario Sticker Star, games that aren't that bad but are hated of fans of the series because they were either expecting something different or they were led by the developer to believe that it was something different. And a few of you may have thought of games that aren't bad at all but receive a lot of hate because of what surrounds the game rather than the game itself, such as the developers or the community. Games like Fez, Five Nights at Freddy's, and possibly most infamously, Roblox. Roblox seems to be the game that YouTubers do not talk about despite the fact that it's a well-known game.
The first rule of
Roblox
is you do not talk about
Roblox.
Well, Tobuscus played it for a little bit, but then he just kind of stopped quietly. The only popular adult YouTuber that I know of who's made a Roblox video recently is the Diamond Minecart, and his last one was about 2 months ago at the time this was recorded. Anyway, what is Roblox? Roblox is an online game where you make online games. You can customize your character, although your options are pretty limited if you don't buy Robux, the Roblox currency. This is my character. All I did was remove his hair, turn him blue, make his torso rectangular, and give him a this thing. I gotta say, I'm very impressed with the way Roblox is structured. Every Roblox game has a maximum server size, usually around 8 to 20 players. If you press the play button, you're automatically connected to the server with the least amount of people, and if all the servers are full, it creates a new server. This applies to every game, not just the popular ones, and the most popular games have thousands of players on at a time. If you don't know anything about servers, basically, Roblox is a very expensive game for the admins to run, yet it's free to play, and that is very impressive. However, that does mean that a free account will be pretty limited. You can't sell things on Roblox for Robux without a Builders Club subscription, and you can only have one game, 5 if you've been playing for over a year, if you're not a Builders Club member. And you know what? That's completely understandable. Anyone who says otherwise has no idea how expensive a game like that is to run and should be lucky that it's still free to play. Anyway, your options for making a game are actually very advanced. You can build using blocks similar to Legos, but you can also script using a modified version of Lua. If you don't know Lua, there's a Roblox wiki that tells you pretty much everything about Roblox Lua. But if you're too lazy to script, you can always just use other people's creations from the catalog. This is what I managed to make. As you can see here, if you step through this portal, you become invisible. If you step through this portal, your body is teleported to another dimension. Just kidding, you die! If you step through this portal, you fly into the portal that kills you. And last but not least, if you step through this portal, your head becomes shiny. But that's just scratching the surface of what Roblox is really capable of. To show what Roblox really has to offer, I'm gonna play some games made by other Roblox players. First up, work at a pizza place. This game is pretty fun and definitely one of the more polished and well-made Roblox games. You can be a cashier and take people's orders, or if you're really daring, you can say the wrong thing. You can also be a cook, a pizza boxer, a manager, a delivery guy, or a supplier. I tried to be a cook at first, but we were out of sauce because our supplier was not doing a good job, so I decided to become a supplier and get some sauce. Out of my way! We're out of sauce! I got a bunch of sauce, realized we were low on dough, went back to the factory, and on the way back I ran into someone's car thinking their little tiny car wouldn't stand a chance against my giant supply truck, and somehow, I was wrong. Our cars somehow merged together and that immobilized both of them completely. That's when I stopped playing. But still, work at a pizza place is a good mix of varied gameplay and really good presentation for a Roblox game. Good game! Up next, Get Eaten. In Get Eaten, you pick a car, either giant drivable food or a drivable knife, or an actual car, and drive down a slide into a giant person's mouth. Then you go through their extremely simplistic digestive system and turn brown on your way out to represent turning into poop. 'Cause that's not racist. Every time you turn into poop, you earn some extra points, which you use to unlock other giant people to get eaten by. So, this game has some progression, but that's about all it has going for it. It's kinda funny, I guess, but the novelty wears off very quickly. For me, it wore off before I even unlocked the second giant. Bad game. Hide and seek. It's exactly what it sounds like. Just a standard game of hide and seek. One player is it, everyone else hides, and it has 3.5 minutes to find as many people as possible. This game has a lot of good and a lot of bad. The bad? Well, this game pretty much boils down to you picking a spot and spectating it to see if he's near you. I don't like that you can spectate it while you're hiding. I think it takes away the suspense of not knowing whether or not it is about to find you. I also don't like how this game lets you pay Robux, which you buy with real money, to be it next round. I understand having a VIP area where you can get items at a discount and even some exclusive items, but I think being able to pay real money to be it is kinda stupid because some rich kid can just pay to be it repeatedly and not give anyone else a chance. The good? The maps are amazing, perfectly made for hide and seek. They're very detailed, full of secrets, and connected in a lot of unexpected ways. And that's because this game is made by a very talented builder, Lando64000. It's a cool concept, but I just don't think hide and seek and video games work well together, even online. Meh game. The normal elevator is more of an interactive show than a game. You and some other players are on an elevator, some elevator music plays, and the elevator stops on different floors. But instead of normal floors in a normal building, you have a GIF of Snoop Dogg, a fast-paced platforming segment, rock bottom, Five Nights at Freddy's, and more. Like Get Eaten, it's really more of a novelty than anything. The difference is that this game actually has some imagination put into it. There are a lot of different floors, and a lot of different things can happen. I found myself laughing quite a bit with this game. Like when a train drove into the elevator, and when I was chosen to participate in a fried chicken eating contest. It was really just a button masher, but that's okay, because I am a furious button masher. I won, even after taking a short break to readjust myself. Once you've seen everything once, there's no real reason to continue playing. However, this game does update from time to time, adding new floors. It's a novelty, but it's a good novelty. Good game. Survive the disasters. Well, they're certainly disasters. I like the open area and the changing map itself, but I don't like the fact that they took the house from the catalog. I'm fine with all the gear items being from the catalog because they're supposed to be familiar to experienced players. But a pre-built house, that's kinda lazy. The disasters have some variety, but most of them seem to be giant versions of things. At the very least, the gameplay is enough to keep your attention. Not great, but definitely not bad either. I'll say it's a good game. Sword Fighting Tournament. This one is very fun if you know how to use Roblox swords right. Some people think it's just kind of luck-based and usually ends in a tie. Those people aren't doing it right. What you gotta do is press shift to go into mouse lock mode and then try to go for whichever side is more weak. It's all about strategic movement. It's extremely satisfying when you win, and every time you lose you immediately know what you did wrong. This game also has some variety when it comes to tournament types. You got the standard elimination duel, team matches, juggernaut, and more. The only thing I don't like about this game is that the standard mode, which is the tournament type you see the most, seems to mostly consist of waiting and occasionally fighting here and there. However, that's also a good incentive to not get eliminated too soon. Plus, you can always practice if people are up to it, and watching other people fight can be pretty exciting at times. Overall, it's a simple yet addicting sword fighting game that's very satisfying yet fairly easy to get good at. Good game. Ripple Minigames is a game where 3 random competitive minigames are chosen and everyone votes on which one is played. Imagine Mario Party, but instead of a board game you have an overworld hub, and there's no real goal except to have more coins, or in this case credits, than everyone else. The minigames are pretty varied. You have Simon Says, where one player is chosen to decide what tile everyone goes to, and can fake people out by not saying Simon Says. Spleef, where your goal is to be the last person standing while trying to shoot the floor right out from under other players. Tipping Tournament, where you either move from tile to tile as they tip over, or try to balance yourself in the middle of one of them. And you can also be a jerk by standing on a tile and flipping it upward when someone's about to jump on it. Color Conquest, where everyone is divided into 2 teams, red and blue, and each team must claim the majority of the map, much like Splatoon, but with walking on tiles to claim them, and I was the only one on my team smart enough to walk in the center between 2 tiles, claiming twice as much ground, and as a result, we lost! And more. Now, this isn't an original concept, even for a Roblox game. This game, as well as many other minigame places, were inspired by an older minigame place called Person299's Minigames. However, this game makes up for it by having some pretty original minigames, as well as being one of the most well-polished Roblox games, right up there with Work at a Pizza Place. It's definitely very fun, and can get pretty hectic at times. Good game. Before I continue, I'd like to mention how a lot of games on the popular page fall under a specific overdone category. Not necessarily a genre, but an overdone category. For example, the minigame place like I just mentioned, the Tycoon, the Kart Ride, the Free Build, and worst of all, the Obby. Now, free build places can be very fun, and so can Tycoons. Yeah, there will almost always be bad ones that clearly reuse stuff from other games, but they're usually still fun. Obbies are almost always bad. They're usually incredibly mindless, consisting of walking up stairs, walking up a ladder, walking up more stairs, jumping over lava, jumping on some stuff, jumping over more lava. It's not fun. The little platforming there is either incredibly easy or goes on for way too long. And then there's the guess which bridge is the real one levels. These are stupid. If you don't guess the right one, you fall to your doom. It takes no skill, it's just trial and error. Thankfully, there's a trick to knowing which one is the right one. If the bridge is fake, you can clip your camera through it. If it's real, your camera will stop when you try to clip it through. But yeah, these games don't test your platforming skill. Instead, they just go on for too long and are always either mindless or cheap. And almost every obby on Roblox has the same problems. However, there is one good obby in Roblox that truly tests your platforming skills without being mindless or cheap. And that game is Super Checkpoint. Super Checkpoint is hands down the best platforming game on Roblox. First of all, the level design is actually imaginative. It actually has a theme rather than just a bunch of nonsense mashed together. It also feels more connected. I love how you can look down and see earlier levels. Especially in level 7 where you climb up a mountain and see level 6 clearly and earlier levels in the distance. And that progresses even further. Pretty much whenever there's a level outside, you can look down and see how far you've come. I also love that you run faster than your default walking speed. This is the kind of game that should be more fast-paced than most Roblox games. If there's one flaw, I'd say it's the shadow. The sun should have been placed as centrally overhead as possible to make sure your shadow stays under you when you jump. You can't really use your shadow as a guide of where to land because when you jump, your shadow offsets. In fact, in the cave levels, you can't really see your shadow at all. But that's one flaw, and it's not game-breaking by any means. This game is great. It would be my favorite Roblox game if it wasn't for A Pirate's Life. A Pirate's Life is really cool. It was made by the same guy who made Hide and Seek, Lander 64000, who, as I mentioned earlier, is a very talented builder. So naturally, the game looks really good. There are two teams, Port Pirates and Cave Pirates. Both bases have a store, a bank, and a bar and clothes store where you can earn treasure slowly by being a cashier. Just what I've always wanted in a game. A minimum wage job in retail dealing with customers who don't know what they want. Another way to earn money is fishing. For some reason, when you catch a fish, it instantly turns into treasure that you can use to buy weapons and boats. With a boat, you can go to the enemy base and raid their bank, but you can also go to some hidden areas and find some treasure chests. If someone collects 30 treasure, they can buy a ship, and that ship can be used in ship battles and raiding the enemy base. Even though it's a very simple concept, a pirate game, its execution makes the game feel very free. In my opinion, this is the best game on Roblox. So, most of the games that I played were pretty good, so where does all the hate come from? Well, for all the good that there is on Roblox, there is a lot holding it back. First of all, not all games on Roblox are good. There are a lot of games that consist of nothing but free catalog items, or free models, that end up being super popular. And like I said earlier, there are a lot of bad obbies, unoriginal tycoons, cart ride into random outdated fad number 5000, and more. Not only are a lot of games unoriginal, but a lot of Roblox games are pretty much exclusively for kids. And I'm not talking kid-friendly but acceptable for all ages like Mario, I'm talking games that are made exclusively for kids. Roblox High School, Adopt and Raise a Cute Baby, Roblox's Top Model, Boys and Girls Hangout, and the list goes on. Another thing about Roblox that people hate are the admins, the moderators, the creative team, pretty much everyone in charge. They're not making much of an attempt to stop hackers and exploiters, despite the fact that they've been a huge problem for a long time and there are a lot of simple fixes that they could make. But the main reason people hate Roblox is the community. Now, when I say that any fanbase or any community is bad, I don't mean that everyone who's a part of it is like that, I just mean that the more obnoxious part of it seems to take up a larger part of it. With that said, Roblox might just have one of the most obnoxious communities of any game ever. it's pretty much impossible to play Roblox without having an encounter with an annoying kid. For example, this guy who tells everyone to shut up, and this guy who keeps calling this guy a noob because he beat him in a minigame. Or how about the really bad supplier who caused an apocalypse by not supplying tomato sauce, this guy who cheated at Simon Says using a gravity coil, and this guy who tried to stop me from walking upstairs. But it didn't work! How about free build deleters? Those are pretty bad. If those examples don't convince you, take a look at the Roblox forum. First of all, one of the things that you're not supposed to suggest on suggestions and ideas is removing guests.
Remove guest!
They also made it so that you can't make Five Nights at Freddy's and Minecraft games for a good reason. It takes away from the value of the original game and is also copyright infringement.
Allow Minecraft and FNAF games!
Also, if it wasn't clear enough, the Suggestions and Ideas forum is for suggestions and ideas. I'm quitting Roblox. And again, not all Roblox fans are like that, but dang, the ones that are really are. The main reason for the bad community is the fact that Roblox is specifically targeted towards kids and young teens, around ages 10 through 15. I'll be honest, Roblox is a kids game, and I am not usually one to write off games as kids games. I mean, one of my favorite games is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I think Roblox is a kids game. But I will say, Roblox's concept, a game where you make online games, has a lot of potential for all ages, and I'm honestly surprised that no one's made a game like this for all ages yet. Unfortunately, it's probably not going to happen anytime soon because of how expensive it is to make a game like that and keep it running. I guess for now we'll just have to settle for Minecraft and Gary's mod. My name is Octopus Joey. Bye. Hey guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and click either of the videos on the screen for more. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channels at youtube.com/octojoey and youtube.com/octojoeylp, and follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/octojoey.